After visiting the Wichita Mountains for a few days, the road continued to the panhandle of Texas. After having spent the night outside of a Walmart parking lot, where the sunrise was actually surprisingly beautiful, I carried on and spent the day at Palo Duro State Park and took some amazing photos. The best part about van life so far is that I can drive up to a place like this, and I have my whole house with me, so I can spend my entire day on the side of the road on a random pull-off, which is actually a lot quieter than you would expect. And I can do whatever I want to do, which is editing right now, with an insane view. It feels like I'm literally in my living room, except my living room is this amazing canyon with 200 million year old rocks. This is so cool. I spent the first half of the day working on my computer. I changed my guitar strings and played for a little while. And once the sun started setting and the light was getting good, I decided to hike to Lighthouse Point, which is the tallest point in Palo Duro Canyon, and see if I could make any compelling images for the day. All right, let's go on another photography mission. Right now, I'm in Palo Duro State Park in the panhandle of Texas. Going on a hike, waiting for the sun to set so we get that nice sunset light. Yeah, hopefully we get something nice. So when I'm out hiking and I'm on an adventure, there are a few ways that I like to carry my camera. Since right now the trail is totally flat and it's not too windy or too dusty and I'm worried about protecting my camera, I'm using a Peak Design clip attached to my backpack strap so I can easily pull it off and take pictures as I need. I have another way for when the weather's bad, it's raining, or I don't need the camera as much, but I'll show you that another time. In another edition of Will I Beat the Sun? Sun, there. Objective, there. Mountain will block the sun. I don't know. I have no idea how long it'll take to get down, but I need to get that far, so I better get moving. I think my perception of how long it takes the sun to set is completely askew from having lived in Alaska for the past 2 years. At that northern latitude that I lived, sunsets are long and drawn out, same with sunrises. When you're in the south, it happens a lot quicker, which leaves me all the way out here, away from where I want to be making my photographs because I miscalculated the sun coming down. I really should plan better next time when I won't have to run so hard to get here. I made it with 20-30 minutes to spare. So now the photography hour starts now. So I'm gonna run around. I'm gonna try to work the scene and figure out where I wanna be when the golden hour hits. Here's option number 1. I like it. Maybe I go and stand over there if it's possible to be the subject. It has potential. I like it. This is what I would call a safe shot. It's not bad, but it's not a photo that anyone wants to stare at for particularly long or that tells any interesting story. So let's move on and try to get something more standout. I'm not sure, but I wonder if the light will be better if I get on the opposite side of it. So I'm gonna run over there and take a look. I don't think it's quite gonna work. I came over here, and although I do like the single tower, I really like when these two towers are closer together and there's a smaller gap in between, which you only get from that angle. So, well, I'm gonna go look and see how it looks from the top of there and potentially wait up there, or I'll just go back to my other spot. I think we got the best light that we're gonna get, so I'm gonna compose my shot and I'll show you how exactly. And even though I got those people to model for me earlier, I think the light is better now, so I'm gonna run down there, set myself up in the pose that I want, and take the picture. So here it is. Here's my composition. I tried my best not to have the lighthouse in the very middle of the scene, but I also have this wall here that I don't want too much of in the photo, and I still want some space over to the left. So that's what it's going to end up looking like. And I can't overemphasize the importance of using an interval timer, because there's no possible way that you could ever get over there in time in 10 seconds to get the photo. So since it's far away, I'll set the interval timer to every 12 seconds for infinity shots. And now it's taking a shot every 12 seconds. So that gives me enough time to run down there and get in the position I want to take the photo. There's my tiny camera. And yes, it does slightly freak me out to leave it at a place that's so far away. And it's not flat over there, it's kind of steep. So yes, I am worried about my camera, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do for the shot, am I right? Recently, I've really been enjoying using myself or a human subject to give scale to the landscape. I think this way it kind of differentiates an image that potentially anybody else could make. It gives it a unique touch. So I think I'm actually pretty happy with this image. There's some good color in the sky, and there's interesting cloud formations. The orange of my jacket is highlighting and matching with the orange of the rock, and the rest of the canyon is looking really good in my opinion. So here's another image almost identical to the one before, except I'm sitting on the cliff this time with my feet hanging off, and it's obviously in a vertical aspect ratio. You know, I like taking both since they serve different purposes and can be seen in different locations, and I like my relationship to the lighthouse in this picture as well. So while I've been down here, I thought that it might be really cool if I waited until it's dark and took the same exact photo, but with a headlamp pointing at the lighthouse here. I'm allowed to be in the park until 10 p.m. I also haven't had dinner, so I'm pretty hungry. I brought a few snacks. But you know what they say, for the best photos, you gotta be out here the longest. I am the last person here. Yeah, so let's see what happens if I wait it out. Okay, while I'm down here, I'm trying a bunch of different stuff. The exposure I set is 1/30th of a second. So I don't know if I stare at the rock, how bright it's gonna show up. So it's a bit of experimentation. So I'm trying a bunch of different methods. I'll show you them now. So one method I'm doing is lighting up the whole tower like this, and then hopefully that'll not overexpose it. Another method is just not looking at it at all, and another method is just slightly putting light on the very top of the of the lighthouse. I'm also trying at different distances. We'll see which one actually turns out. Also peep the coyote, which are kind of freaking me out. Here's the headlamp photo that turned out the best. It's essentially the same image as the ones before, so nothing too exciting. Maybe with a starry sky it could be better, but I didn't have the time. And here's another image of the canyon by itself that works as a supporting image, and I like the colors in it. Alright, so I'm kind of in a dilemma right now. A 4-mile hike took me an hour and 50 minutes, including like 1,000 feet of elevation gain. And also I was going really slow. I was taking a lot of photos and videos, and you know, I wasn't rushing at all. So I can obviously do it way faster than that. The concern is it's around 7:30 right now. I have to be gone from the park at 10 p.m. But there's more stars coming out still, and I'm having a just amazing time. It's so quiet. There's a perfect slight breeze, and things keep getting better, but I don't want to get a fine for being in the park too late. So I'm trying to decide between heading back now and maybe getting a photo or two on the way back, or holding out a little bit longer and hoping for the right moment to get a picture of the lighthouse with a starry sky. Who knew walking back was going to be so scary? I don't know if you see those eyes down there. Get out of here! Guess I'll go investigate. What other option do I have? Yep, it's a coyote for sure. I don't know where he is, but one thing I know for sure, if that coyote comes at me, I'm smacking it with my camera. I'm gonna treat it the same way I would a bear and talk to it. All right, Mr. Coyote, you stay far away from me, you and your family. I don't want to meet you guys. I'm coming down this way, so stay far away, my friend, far away. There are so many coyote around here. I'm carrying my tripod around as if it were a club. I'm ready, so don't test me. Yes, there it is. I'm finally back at the car. That was a speed walk of epic proportions. Hal would be proud of me. That that was so much fun. Hope I got some good pictures. I guess that will be determined still. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do now. I made it in time with about 45 minutes to get out of the park, and it's a half an hour drive, so right on time. I'm debating how far I want to drive tonight. All right, this is a totally I don't want to cook dinner. A can of beans, a can of black beans, some tortilla chips, and 2 things of cheddar cheese. I decided I'm driving. I really don't want to clean, so this is dinner. In the next video, I hike and camp at the top of Texas's tallest mountain, and I'm met with a terrible windstorm. So if you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll keep making them.